The bar's pretty low for scary slideshows on TikTok, but if there's one thing that's worse, it has to be conspiracy theory slideshows. If scary slideshows are the lowest of the low, then I suppose conspiracy theory slideshows might as well be hell. So allow me to be your Virgil as I take you through this one slideshow I found. This first one is supposedly the skeleton of a giant that died fighting a massive serpent. It was supposedly found in Thailand. At least one of those things is true. It is from Thailand. But it's not the skeleton of a giant, or at least not a real giant. This is an art piece. The artist in question is this guy, Tu Wei Chen. He made the art piece based off of local folklore. So no, it's not an unearthed giant skeleton. At least not a real one. From one piece of art to another. Here we have a supposed Mayan statue that has an ancient QR code on it. I mean, there are a lot of problems with this. For starters, why would old people have QR codes? Like, did we just borrow it from the ancients? It's confusing. And also, this QR code leads to a Mexican technology website. I don't know what all tech in Mexico does, but I don't think they're ancient aliens. So what's the explanation? Well, it's either a great piece of viral marketing, or, more likely, whoever made the statue just copied whatever QR code was nearby onto the statue for the art piece. You know, if you're making a statue with a QR code head, he probably just had like an all-tech catalog and was like, alright, I'll make this QR code there. The best part about this slide is, it implies the statue was found in ancient ruins. We don't know where it was found. All we have is this one picture of a statue in a display case. For all we know, it's just a tourist item. This one might be my favorite because of how insanely dumb it is. Alright, a giant was found in China. Let's break this down. First of all, the giants in the pictures are all different. So were giants found in China? And second of all, this is clearly an AI image. You know how I can tell? Because AI is bad at two things, faces and hands. And let's zoom in on this guy's face over here. I'm no expert on China, but I'm pretty sure Chinese people have, normal faces like the rest of humanity. Or take a look at this other guy, who has a really, really long arm that goes the wrong way. Or maybe it's something else. You see, that's the other reason you could tell it's AI. The background's all like a soupy, goopy mess of nothingness. Giant pre-flood trees. This one's always confused me. Assuming this is talking about the Bible, because most people that talk about pre-flood anything are talking about the flood in the Bible. The Bible only mentions that there were giants before the flood, and that they all died off during the flood. It doesn't mention giant trees, or advanced technology, or ancient aliens. But for some reason, all of those conspiracy theories are like wrapped up in a tight little bundle. You can't believe in ancient giants without believing in ancient trees, and also that ancient humans were super technologically advanced. Also, the moon landing was fake, and the aliens taught the Egyptians how to build the pyramids. There's like no conspiracy theorist that believes in any one conspiracy theory and decides that's it. They all have to believe in all of them wholesale. And the more you believe in them, the more incompatible they all become. And apparently also, the more you believe in conspiracy theories, the more likely you are to just believe random slideshows on the internet. Like, they're so gullible that they will look at pictures from Pinterest and be like, yep, that's the truth, the government is hiding stuff from me. And I say this because coming up are literally pictures from Pinterest. So, this is the Isis temple in the Grand Canyon. It's an actual formation. And the conspiracy theory around it, as with all things that are vaguely pointy in nature, is that it's secretly an Egyptian pyramid. So a rock formation in the Grand Canyon is actually an Egyptian temple. But there are a few inconsistencies, like how the statue that was found in the temple isn't real, because it's a picture of a statue from a national park in India. I've traced back this Egyptian pyramid in the Grand Canyon conspiracy theory, and almost every website that talks about it has this exact same set of pictures, because, none of these people are original, they just steal each other's thunder. But this picture, and I can say objectively and definitively, is from a statue in a national park in Mumbai. So one of the fundamental pieces of evidence of this conspiracy is a very verifiable picture from a completely different place. That should tell you the type of people we're dealing with here. They will believe anything, or they will be grifters who regurgitate anything to get easy clicks. I lied earlier. This one's actually my favorite. It's a picture of the Darren Kuwu underground city, and it posits the question, what were the people hiding from? Well, I'm not sure, but I think it probably was, The sun! 'Cause they lived in the desert. And the desert gets really hot. In the words of Bill Wirtz. So let me explain these pictures. As part of the giant conspiracy theory, there's also a subsection that believes that people with horns exist because giants used to have horns. I know, it's a little weird. But the best part about this is the source of all 4 pictures. So, bottom right, what is that? It's a piece of artwork from a Pinterest. Alright, what about that middle one? That one looks really convincing. It's a decorative skull you can buy on Amazon. And the one on the left? Also a piece of art from Pinterest. But what about that top one? That one looks really realistic. Well, yeah, it looks realistic because it's a picture from Ripley's Believe It or Not. Weird. It's almost as if none of these pictures have anything to do with giants or actual people with horns. And they were just thrown together by a crappy TikTok account who's trying to get easy clicks. So this picture is of an object that looks a lot like a plug stuck in a rock. It goes by many names. We're going to call it the Williams connector. As the story goes, a man named John Williams in the 90s found this rock with a plug in it, and the plug is all the way in it, and it's a part of the rock fundamentally. Now, this is obviously a hoax, and the way I can tell is because this John Williams guy, he personally holds onto the rock, and he doesn't let anyone actually look at it or do tests on it. Williams claims he's had extensive testing done that has proved that the plug is a part of the rock and it's not been soldered or glued in, and his sources trust me, bro. I mean, he could be telling the truth, or he's probably just a grifter who's trying to get an easy buck. Speaking of hoaxes, here we have the Bosnia Pyramids. They're these group of vaguely triangular hills that some people say are actually secret ancient pyramids, and also the biggest pyramids on Earth. This conspiracy theory is incredibly dumb when you break it down, because the guy who initially proposed it in the 90s is a local businessman who makes money off of tourism. Weird. Why would a businessman who makes money off of tourism claim that a hill in the area where he does business is secretly the biggest secret ancient pyramid on Earth? I can't wrap my brain around it. I don't know, man. On a completely unrelated note, local tourism went from a few hundred people a year to tens of thousands a year right after the pyramids were supposedly discovered, and that continues to this day. This is the only slide here that is vaguely true. Ancient petrified sea monster found. It's true from a certain point of view, because this is really an ancient skeleton. But you know, it's not some giant unknown sea serpent. It's a Temodontosaurus? I don't know how to say that. It's a Ichthyosaur. It was found in the UK, and there are a bunch of articles and scientific papers about its discovery. It is potentially the weirdest thing on this list to claim to be a conspiracy thing about ancient, sea serpents, because it is incredibly well documented. This one's so weird because it isn't about some fringe theory or random artifact that, no one talks about or pictures that are grainy. This is an actual picture of an actual scientific dig with tons of actual articles and papers written about it. Like, if you're gonna claim to have found an ancient sea serpent, at least do a grainy AI photo like the giant, because this is just a photo of a thing that we actually know what it is. I love this last slide. This profile's not intended for the weak-minded. Enter at your own risk. Well, I guess I have the weakest mind ever, because I looked at your slideshow and found only lies. Sorry it's been a little while since my last video. I've been pretty sick for the last few weeks and didn't have a voice. Oh, I'm finally better, and yeah, I have some bigger projects coming up, including some things that are brand new, like I haven't done anything like them before, so stay tuned for that. Also, TikTok, thanks for 10K, that's pretty cool. And YouTube, thanks for 8K.